That is.
Hey guys, welcome to the World According to Patrick, where I rank my favorite albums from my least favorite to my favorite. Is that good coffee, dude?
That's great coffee.
Hell yeah, man.
Best
Made it
coffee
myself,
I've
brewed it
had
myself.
in a long minute.
Hells yeah. We're gonna actually, what I'm really excited about, we're gonna do the albums of Pantera, and I know you're a big Terry Glaze fan, so
Love him.
yeah, he's the best, isn't he?
Yeah.
We don't hate Terry Glaze, but
No,
probably not going to be at the very top anyway.
He's
but
a great singer. Great singer.
he is a good singer, you know.
Yeah.
Texas boy, and yeah, it's good. But they actually have 9 total albums, and we thought we were gonna just do the 5 after Cowboys from Hell On, but let's just go ahead and do all 9. Is that cool?
Yep.
Okay.
Might as well.
What we'll do, and we don't know each other's order, but we'll just go from our least favorite to our favorite, and go from there, and then we'll go back. You know. So, what is your number 9, Taylor?
Projects in the Jungle.
Project in the Jungle. Okay, I didn't expect to hear that. Okay. What do you think? Great album cover.
I love it. It's a good follow up to Metal Magic, but
In the back, they're
I
pretty
think that
glammed out right there.
I think that their teen angst and
It's not terrible.
and debut release of The Prior it's got more, more feel, more flair, a little bit.
Okay,
know?
I didn't expect that, but yeah, I get, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
whenever you're talking about that era of Pantera, it's a hard thing to.
yeah. You know what? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my number 9. My number 9 is Metal Magic, which looks like they were maybe in 7th grade. They're like, dude,
Okay.
I need a good
pretty
album
much.
cover. Can you draw something for me real quick? Let's put that together. But I'm not. Look at the back picture here.
I was that.
Look
kid.
at this is before he was Dimebag. This is Diamond Daryl. Of course, Vinnie Paul, Rex Brown are all in the band, and then it's Terry Glaze, who played in the first 3 albums. Which, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like old Def Leppard when they were actually a good band. On Through the Night era, High and
Yes.
Dry.
Yes.
Early Kiss, and kind of mixed with Van Halen a little bit. So it's not terrible.
Yeah, a little bit of Y&T in there too.
Yeah, Y&T, which is a great band, by the way. I love Y&T.
solid
Yesterday
band.
and Today is a
Solid,
great
yeah.
band. Yeah. So that's our number 9.
That's actually my number 8. So
okay. I'll put it back up again.
Still everything you had to say about that. That's my number 8 as well. So, what's your number 8, man?
My number 8 is, we're just going to flip-flop, is Projects in the Jungle. I didn't say a whole, well, we already showed that, but, especially these first 2, you got to think they were still in school when they made these albums, but I mean, the guitar playing is already killer, from Daryl is just really good.
That's
Terry
the
Glaze is
saving
not a
grace,
terrible,
man.
he's not a terrible singer by any means, but they were a totally different band.
No,
And I wouldn't even say it's
awesome.
really glam rock. It just sounds more like old Def Leppard kind of. You could tell they listened to On Through the Night and High and Dry a ton.
It's rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's rock and roll.
Yeah, but I went with that as my number 8 because the lyrics are not quite as corny as on the first one, but they were just kids, right?
Yeah.
So, but that is my number 8. So we're at our number 7, right?
Yeah, my number 7 is probably your number 7, and that is I Am the Night.
Last album to feature Terry Glaze.
I love that album right there, man. That's got some solid work on there, I mean,
Hot and Heavy, I Am the Night.
yeah. Man. Fucking,
Down Below. Yeah, I mean,
just a solid album. There's some solid grooves and
yeah, it's not terrible by any means. I mean, I don't hate any of these albums, but it's definitely
not at all.
before Phil joined the band. I mean, totally different band. But
There's some damn good grooves in there. Total Van Halen 1984 worship grooves in there.
yeah,
Throwbacks to like maybe Drop Dead Legs or
mm-hmm.
a little bit of House of Pain, but you add in that Pantera flair, and it's got that just a little bit more sleazy.
Yeah, it's my number 17. I don't know if I said that or not, but yeah, I mean, again, I don't hate these albums, but yeah, it's definitely a little more mature than the first two to me. These could change up, but I definitely would have to say Metal Magic's definitely my least favorite. So, what is your number 6, Taylor?
Power metal.
Power metal.
I think that's our same number 6.
This is when Phil joined the band. I don't know if you can even recognize Phil Anselmo there, but that's Phil.
Great songs on there. My standout on this album is Over
I like
and
this
Out.
album. Yeah.
Over and Out is a standout for me, man.
That's a good song.
That is a killer fucking song. Killer riffage,
Death Trap,
man.
Hard Ride. I like Rock the
Yeah.
World a lot.
Yes.
You know, about three quarters of this album had already been written with Terry before he had even joined the band, and it's hard to believe this is Phil singing on this because of all the screams. It's definitely way before, a few thousand cartons of cigarettes, but yeah, I mean, he totally sounds like a different singer on here. I mean, but I like the album. I mean, it's a good album. But,
and a great one at that. I mean, that's whenever they, ended up hooking up with Slayer and touring with Slayer there for a minute.
Yeah.
Did a couple hometown shows. And,
yeah, because, they befriended
right on the South of Heaven
Kerry
tour,
really befriended them and put them under his wing, Kerry King.
Yep.
And, yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed the sound for the band. And I think this is, from here on is when the band totally changed their sound. I mean, and it really... is when they became the band they became, right?
And they got more thrashier on the power metal album, too.
Yeah, but it's still hard to believe that's
give
some
them
of those
that.
things. There's a lot of those high screech, definitely Rob Halford influence, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. Rob
Nothing
Halford's
wrong
one of
with
my favorite singers, so yeah.
They hung out with Metallica back in 85,
I think that might have been
86.
when Terry Glaze was still in the band, but yeah.
It was.
That's when they started changing, though, I think, when they started listening to Metallica and all that. They were definitely bringing in a new sound, for sure.
Daryl and Vinny.
So what is your number 5, dude?
I'll let you introduce it. I mean, I think we got the same.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
Reinventing the Steel, right?
We're going in the same order here? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Reinventing the Steel, last album they actually ever released.
I love that album.
Yeah, it's a good album. Yeah, it's a good way, good swan song to end out their career. That's it. My favorite track on here is definitely Death Rattle.
Mm-hmm.
Makes Them Disappear. I'll Cast a Shadow. I mean, Goddamn Electra's great too. I mean, yeah,
we'll grind that axe for a long time.
Yeah, good songs. That's number 5. So that's number 5 as well.
Yesterday Don't Mean Shit.
Yeah. What's your number 4?
It's going to be Far Beyond Driven.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Great
album. Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but I do love it. It's a great album. It's got one of my favorite Pantera songs of all time on there, Shedding Skin.
Yeah.
Love that song.
Yeah, great song.
Love that song. That groove. I mean, it just opens up with that punctual groove that just injects you,
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
So
yeah, it's hard to kind of decide for the next 4 to me. I mean, they could kind of switch up. I know what my number 1 is, which might be a little surprising to some people, but whatever. I just like what I like. But
it's the way it goes, man.
Yeah, my number 4 is actually Cowboys from Hell, which I love this album. Yeah,
oh, man. Wow,
great album. My favorite song on here is probably Domination and Primal Concrete Sledge, and I like Message in Blood a lot too, and the artist shredding. Yeah,
it's killer.
I mean, there's not a bad song on here, but I got to go in some kind of order. So that's my number 4. This is actually what put them on the map. That's the first time I got to see them live with this shitty ass band called Wrathchild America. They played at Center Stage. Yeah.
Didn't they come through on that tour with
Suicidal?
Suicidal,
They came with Suicidal as well.
and Danzig.
Yeah, did they come with Danzig? I remember them coming with Suicidal. I saw them like 2 or 3 times that tour, but that's when I said, man, this band.
Danzig, I think White Zombie. I've got the tour shirt.
They might have done a tour with some shows with White Zombie as well. It was so interesting to me, though, is when this came out, grunge had taken over, so all the metal bands had kind of went down, but for some reason, Pantera just took off.
Which is
really cool. Yeah. So, what is your number 3?
Number 3, I would have to say Great Southern Trendkill.
Okay.
Love that album. I love that album.
Yeah, great album.
This is a great album, man. It's got some of my favorite
Very
Pantera
heavy.
songs on there. Rodney and I, we used to listen to War Nerve all the time. And
That's a great song.
Suicide Note Part 1, there is such an eeriness about it. And
Yeah.
especially before it goes into Part 2. Part 2, it is what it is, it's just another one of those fast, gets into it. But that Part 1
I used to
of
hate that,
song,
but now I love it now that I'm older.
there is
I love
something about it that it seeps in your memory. And
Yeah. It's a dark
it
album.
messes. Yeah, it's very dark.
That's right after, right before
And
Phil overdosed.
Phil,
Yeah.
actually, if I'm correct, he actually recorded his vocal lines while he was in New Orleans, and the rest of the band, they were in Texas.
Yeah.
Because he was going through such a dark period, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got so many
You can hear
good
an album.
songs on that
Yeah.
album. 13 Steps in the
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
And,
Yeah.
God, man, that was such a good album.
Great album.
Floods, that has got one of Dime's greatest solos ever.
Totally agree with you. Yeah.
Just a killer album.
Great
Killer
album. My number 3, and this was hard because 3 and 2 I kept going back and forth, but I'm going to say Far Beyond Driven is my number 3.
Hell yeah.
There's not a bad song on here.
Hell yeah.
I'm Broken. I had showed the video a million times. It's probably I love that song. 25 Years is one that I love that fucking song, man.
That's a good one, yeah. Good Friends and Bottle of
Throws
Pills.
Rejection. Strength Beyond Strength. Yeah, just a heavy, great album.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that middle section in Strength Beyond Strength.
Yeah, it's killer, dude. Yeah. Good Friends in a Bottle of Pills is kind of silly, but
It's goofy.
Yeah, it's goofy, but So what's your number 2? We got 2 left.
This is that's kind of where it gets hard for me. It's hard for these next 2 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would have to say Vulgar Display of Power is my number 2.
Okay.
I cannot say anything bad about that album, first of all.
No.
Every single song on there is a classic. It's a masterpiece. It's a great album. By Demons Be Driven.
Yeah, that's great.
And Regular People. That's probably my favorite
Yeah.
song on there.
And it's a more obscure song. That's a great song. A great track. Yeah.
That's probably my favorite one on there. I remember being maybe 11, 12, and I heard that on a cassette. And it was, oh man, that groove that got me into it. And all right, Pantera, I'm hooked,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
great.
Hey, good choice.
Killer
Yeah.
fucking album, man.
Yeah, man, their top 4 to me, they could be
And
interchangeable.
Hollow.
Yeah, that's killer, man.
There's not a time that I listened to that song Hollow
Yeah, there's a lot.
without shedding a tear. I'll shed a tear every time I hear that song.
Rise is another one. That's just,
That's another great one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Which, yeah. So we're down to the top 2, right? So,
What's your number 2?
well, my number 2 is Vulgar Display of Power. As well. We just have different number 1s, but Mouth for War is probably my favorite track. Probably might be my favorite Pantera song ever. There's not a bad song on here, man. You pretty much by Demons Be Driven, Hollow, No Good, Attack the Radical. This whole album from
I forgot about that one.
God, it's so good, man. Love the back cover too. Yeah, this is good. I almost had Far Beyond as my number 2, but this is really, really. I saw them several times on this tour. They were just really taking over. Really good stuff. So that leaves you with your number 1. That is.
My number 1 is Cowboys from Hell. Most definitely.
Yeah.
That was the album that got me into Pantera.
Mm-hmm.
I heard, I think the first song I ever heard by Pantera was Psycho Holiday.
Yeah.
And Dude, I saw that music video on Headbangers Ball. I was with Rodney up in Knoxville, and I saw that, and dude, that music video, something about it got me. The groove, and then like you're seeing the pit going on and people stage diving. It was like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
That's my kind of band, dude.
Yeah.
And then just kind of dived a little deeper and got into other songs on there, and I would say my favorite one off there would have to be Heresy.
Heresy, yeah, I didn't even bring that up when yeah, that's a great song.
That's a great song,
Yeah.
man. That one, The Art of Shredding.
God, the Art of Shredding.
The Sleep is a great one. That solo in The Sleep gives me chill bumps every time. I get chicken skin thinking about it.
Chicken skin. Yeah, I told you, Primal Concrete Sledge and Domination.
God.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Killer album.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's what got them going. Once they were signed to a major label here, I kind of get why they, on their first 4 albums, they didn't want anybody to hear them because they're a little hard to find, But you can find them on YouTube and listen to them on YouTube. But yeah, this is actually kind of when they started, the bar. But my number one, and most people wouldn't have this as their number one, I don't give a damn. But I love this album. I mean, the older I get, the more and more I just can't quit listening to it. I mean, there's not a bad track on here. War Nerve is one of my favorites.
It's an awesome one, man.
Drag the Waters 10s. Yeah,
So
13
good.
Steps to Nowhere. Floods, like you were saying. I mean, you said Blasted Skin. Just from front to back, just an absolute classic.
Yeah.
Love this album. I mean, the more I listen to them, the more I can get into it. I get it's dark, and the band wasn't in a good place. But a lot of times when there's a lot of friction in the band, sometimes it makes them better, right?
That's what makes our album
So
good. It's kind of like
heavy and
Anthrax,
intense, man. I mean,
It's like
yeah.
Anthrax. Whenever they were going through their most darkest time, it was a Persistence of Time, and that ended up being one of their best albums.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree. That's an album I didn't used to like as much. I love that album now. Yeah, I agree with it.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it all
Yeah.
works out, man.
Yeah.
That is a
We were very similar, other than our number ones. I mean, kind of, obviously our top, bottom 4, the Terry Glaze era. But I don't hate those albums. It
we
is
didn't
what it
know
is.
this going in either.
Yeah, no, not at all. But and I'm sure you've seen all these, Taylor. I mean, I have these all on VHS too. But all the 3 Vulgar videos. I mean, this is way before Jackass.
Yeah.
I mean, these are really cool, actually, though, because Dom used to record everything.
They got a dude from old big boy from Crowbar dressed up.
Kurt Weinstein. Yeah,
Yeah, Kurt. He's got the paint on, dressed up like Hulk.
yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff on here, though. Just shows them on the road. I mean, you can get this you can order it on Amazon or whatever. But this is fun, brother. We'll have to do another one soon. And yeah, I'm glad we did it.
Hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Thank you for having me, Patrick.
All right, brother. We'll see you guys soon. Yeah, if you like what you see, please hit like and subscribe. Talk to you guys soon. Later.